And we're back. We're live. We're doing this. We're going there. Taking it to the next level. Are you ready to get it on like donkey schlong? Who wants to get it on like a donkey schlong? I do. All right, let me see if my watch page. Get on like a donkey schlong. I do. That's right. There's my watch page. On and popping. All right. I did not plan to say donkey schlong out of the gate that many times. It just happened. This is unscripted. All right. I did not script that I was going to repeat donkey schlong a fourth time. All right. That's enough. That's enough of that. All right. Jonna X says, hello, Jake. Welcome, friends, to the greatest comedy show in the history of YouTube. That's right. I got some comedy tonight. I got some truth. I'm going to mix them and blend them together. It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys know that tonight, first night, no football on Sunday in like 4 months. No football. It feels weird, right? I've been covering football for 4 months. And now it's coming to a close. I got to start talking about other stuff, like I always have around here. But a lot of you guys are new, and I know I picked up tens of thousands of new subscribers who think this is a football channel, but they're going to find out it's not. It's a truth channel. And I also happen to be the world's funniest man, and I'm also a musician. So I'm going to start working on new music now that the football season is over. I'm going to build a studio right here in this office. I'm going to start putting together some fire tracks. You know, I created Return of the Doink as a joke, and it turned into a hit song. So, pretty sure if I put my mind to it, I could create some music that could take some shots at all the crooked assholes on the world stage, and maybe even cause some shockwaves if it were to get shared enough times. You think Tom McDonald's raps have some truth? You ain't heard nothing yet. All right. Lint Away Air Duct and Dryer Vent Cleaning with a donation says, was I'm okay. I'm okay. I might have to go under concussion call, but I'm okay. Concussion to protocol? Yeah, I'm okay. All right. Thank you, Lint Away Air Duct and Dryer Vent Cleaning. Best damn lint air duct dryer cleaning service this side of the Mississippi. And no, he didn't pay me to say that. Or did he? All right. I say that every time he sends me a super chat. Well, almost every time. Okay. All right. God's Firmament says, Jake, why haven't you broken down Mikey Smith's new star footage? Well, because I think you are Mikey. See, Mikey likes to create sock accounts where he promotes his own self, and he was already here earlier with a different account, saying to do the same thing. Are you telling me two people love Mikey so much that they both showed up to tell me to talk about him? Sorry, I think you are Mikey, and this is another sock account, so therefore, no, not gonna. Bye. And I would suggest nobody go look at that, because this guy uses tons of sock accounts to promote himself. Yeah. Gotcha. Make a video with you not being Mikey saying that and prove me wrong. All right. So if you're not Mikey, just get on camera and say so. All right. Not my first rodeo. Okie doke. So, uh, if you're waiting for a Super Bowl prediction, I'm going to do that in like a couple days. So, if that's all you're waiting around for is football, it's not a football stream. I got other stuff to go over, like the Texas border crap, nonsense, hot garbage, bullshit, nothing burger. Got to go over that because there's no football. And I'm going to make my official decision in the next few days. I think I've already made up my mind. Seems pretty easy. So I'm going to officially put out my Super Bowl pick in a few days. Exactly. Welcome. David says, welcome all new subscribers. I have ballooned in the last 4 months while I have covered the NFL topic. I have ballooned my subscriber count like, I don't know, 20,000 people have showed up and hit the sub button since I started covering football. That's a good amount in a short amount of time. And so when football season ends, there's always this point where it's like, now I got to talk about other stuff. And you're going to find out what the channel's really about. It's about truth. The NFL being rigged is one of the truths that I expose. So tonight, I'm going to talk about some news that's fake. I break down the fake news. And just like I break down fake football, I use my own brand of humor to break down fake football. I use my own brand of humor to break down the fake news. Breaking down the fake news is more risky. And it tends to not only get demonetized if you break down the fake news, you can get your damn video taken down or even your channel taken down. So I really have to walk the line whenever I break down the fake news. And I have to make it more than obvious that it's a comedy routine. If you get too serious when you break down the fake news, your video just comes down. It's that simple. So one of the reasons I have avoided being taken down is that I label my streams as comedy and I inject a bunch of comedy into the truth to where their algorithm doesn't know what to do. And the circuits fry and I slip on by. Lint away air duct dryer vent cleaning says, what do you think about Cody Rhodes' Rock scenario? Like most people, hate it. They better not do it. They better be intentionally trying to piss people off. Cody versus Roman is the match everyone wants. And so basically, they're either purposely trying to piss everyone off or they just made the most terrible move in like a decade because that one backfired badly. The minute The Rock jumped in the ring and Cody walked out of the ring, everyone was like, no, we don't like this. So, yeah, it's good to see the fans backlash against the WWE when they don't like what they're seeing. And Hollywood Rock thinks he can come back and be everyone's favorite. Nobody likes The Rock anymore. Not even wrestling fans who are dupes. I'm not a gigantic wrestling fan like I was when I was a teenager, but I still keep up with who's the champion and what's going on. And plus, The Rock is a major player in the world stage story. He might be the future president of the United States. Yes, I'm not kidding. The Rock may be a future president. He's a major player in the game. He transcended from wrestling into Hollywood, gave his body to Hollywood, and now he doesn't even really seem like The Rock anymore. Seems like some other weird thing that Disney created. I don't know. Can't quite put my finger on it. But when you go back and look at Attitude Era Rock, and you look at The Rock now, the Hollywood weirdo Rock, it's like two different guys. So yes, they're blending pro wrestling with sports in Hollywood more so than ever, and with Rock crossing over from wrestling to Hollywood, becoming the biggest mainstream star to ever do that. You know, Hulk Hogan never quite could cross over into Hollywood and become a big star. John Cena's done some movies, but he never quite hit it like The Rock. So The Rock crossed over, became gigantic in Hollywood, and now they're trying to even position him as like this pop culture figure that could even one day be president. So you saw it wasn't long ago he was standing next to Oprah telling you to send your money to the victims in Hawaii. You know, the wildfire on the tropical island. Yeah. So The Rock was there trying to tell you, what the hell? One second, my TV just went off, my monitor, and it messed me up. Okay, it's back. I honestly think that when you go to Hollywood on that level, they take you underground, underneath the surface of the earth, to a lab down there, and then they take measurements of every inch of your body so that they can, make copies of you or create, a mask that looks just like you. They can use these dimensions to surgically turn another human into you. I think once you give yourself away to Hollywood and they can take all the little measurements of every little crevice of your body, well, then they can really do whatever they want with that character. See, I've never went underneath the ground and given myself to Hollywood, so they can't quite carbon cut copy me. And I have this type of humor that no other human being has, which makes me the funniest human in the world, and they can't copy it. So the only way they could ever duplicate this masterpiece would be if I agree to their contract, whatever it is. And then we go underneath the ground to their lab. And then they measure every crevice of my body and every little nose hair and everything about me. And then suddenly, with my DNA and all the measurements, now they can possibly make a copy of me. So somebody like The Rock, he was a wrestler. He got popular in wrestling and then crossed over to Hollywood and then got all these gigantic weirdo muscles. And now every time he comes back to be a wrestler, it's like something's off, something ain't quite right. He doesn't sound quite right. He doesn't quite have the same confidence. Something's off. Can't put my finger on it. But what I can say is if you agree to let them take you under the ground and take measurements and take your DNA, well, God only knows what they could do with that. All that stuff I just mentioned, you better hope that they don't do any of what I just said. But if I can imagine it, well, just imagine what the bad guys could do if they have that sort of funding. All right. Eman853 Beats says, donating to your show. Thanks for the truth and your content. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I appreciate everyone who donates and hangs out here. There's so many people who comment, and I have a very lengthy way of making my point. So it's impossible for me to read everyone's comments and answer everyone's question. So I'm going to do my best to try and talk to people in the chat. But I do have a topic lined up tonight, the Texas border deal, and I do want to get through some of that. But I'm going to dedicate a section tonight where I just do nothing but talk to comments because sometimes I get carried away with my subjects and I don't really read anyone's comments. And I even miss super chats from time to time, which I hate doing. So I'm going to go out of my way to not miss any super chats and just talk to you guys and answer questions tonight as well. I'm most definitely going to be talking about your Lord and Savior, next President of the United States returning to take over his throne. I think you know who I'm talking about. He's going to clear the air. He's going to drain the dirty, swampy swamp. Would you like somebody to come along and save you? Have you been trusting the plan all along? Have you been reading the message boards on the Chan websites? Have you? If you have, then you know I've already taken over the deep state. They're gone. All right. What we have are imposters who are on my side pretending to be the deep state. We've already won. It's all a big show. Okay. So prepare to see one hell of a show. Doesn't that sound like some crazy Quanon shit that they would all believe? All right. All right. Lint away air duct and dryer vent cleaning says RFB return of the doink.
At any rate, I tried to tell you so, but I guess you didn't know. They were messing with field goals, and all along there's magnets in the poles. You lied to me. All those field goals I thought were so real, you lied to me. Now I cry. Now I cry. At any rate, return of the doink. I'm out.
There you go. There you go. Have I ever done that before? I think that might be the first time I've ever done Richie Return of the Doink. I might be wrong. I'm pretty zany. Got a super chat coming in with no message attached, just a kitty cat named Zan with a very generous super chat donation. I appreciate that. I can't see on my end what it is unless I go to my watch page. It's a thumbs up. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It says that's your first super chat here. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. That's very, very generous. And Sonny Lamont says, hello from Alaska. Thank you for exposing the truth. Can you do a John Cena impression, please? I haven't practiced a John Cena impression at all. And I don't like to, off the top of my head, like try a new one that I haven't ever done, because then like there's that chance that I just absolutely flop, and I don't like to flop or fail at doing impressions. So I'm gonna have to apologize and just say I don't have a John Cena impression lined up for you. I'd have to like watch some video and like try and get it prepared and then do it. So one of the reasons why I can do some of these impressions is because I've seen so many video examples of these individuals. So everyone who I've done, it's because like their character is very over the top. So typically if they have a deep, scratchy voice, it's really easy. So I'll have to put some practice and time and effort into it. So yeah, I just don't have a John Cena impression lined up for you. Sorry. If I can't do it, I can't do it, and I don't want to fail, because I like to consider myself like one of the best impression guys ever. Saul Rosenberg says, you knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in. Trump like a dozen times, and then played Sympathy for the Devil by Rolling Stones. So I'm going to be talking about Trump a lot tonight, and busting his balls, making fun of anyone who still follows him. So yeah, there's still people who follow him. And I know out of all the thousands of people who've subscribed to me, there's bound to be some Trumpers who are going to be like, what do you mean? He's a good guy. He's saving the children down there in them tunnels right now. He's going down there to the Texas border. He's going to fight them immigrants. He's going to keep them immigrants from coming across. Thank you. So, hey, it's been a while since I think you've been here. So you were probably waiting for me to shut up about football. And then you came back. Nice to see you again, Saul. Thanks for coming back around and supporting the Jake the Asshole stream. All right, let's get into it. So there's a deal down at the Texas border, And I was calling it out days ago, saying that whatever they're going to do, it's going to be fake, and it's not going to be a legitimate event, whatever they have planned. And then the convoy, the more I looked into it, it turns out it was very tiny. So we'll go ahead and jump into that. Looks like I just got a super sticker from Miss G. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Super stickers are appreciated. But let me go ahead and show you guys this convoy situation. Tried to catalog all these videos that I watched. So I did a bunch of research on it yesterday. I think I've got it figured out. It's basically just a tiny infiltrated Trump rally that they're shoving a bunch of fake Christianity into, like having a bunch of over the top religious Christianity involved with the tiny Trump rally, making it out like all those who are in support of stopping migrants are connected back to Trump, connected back to Jesus. So they're going to tie Trump with Jesus, Jesus with protecting your border. Very clever government operation. All right, let me try and go back and find the day they rolled in. So there's only like 3 trucks involved. And the crowds are way smaller than were talked about on the news. And they all wave Trump flags and wear Trump gear. So my thing is like, where's the group of people? Oh shit. Okay, I thought my mic was muted. So where's the group of people who's against both parties, right? We don't really hear from that group of people. The group of people who say both parties work for the same side, nobody waves that flag. So all these events where you hear, oh, God's army going to head down to the border to stop migrants from coming in. What it is just a tiny Trump rally where they sing country religious Christian songs. And that's it so far. And then they baptized each other. There's a dunk tank where they did a baptism. I'll show you guys. So this convoy that they talked about on the news, when you really start to piece it together, it's teeny, it's nothing. It's obviously just some staged little group, and then a handful of useful idiots following along. I'll show you guys a few mainstream news reports and we'll break it down.
Assemblyman Josh Hoover.
Take Our Border Back convoy will conclude in the small town of Quemado, Texas. That's just north of Eagle Pass. Border Patrol has moved migrants away from the area just as a precaution. Let's bring in Stephanie Haynes, who is live on the ground this morning with a look at what we can expect. Stephanie, you've been following this convoy for days now. You said there were 300 cars. What's in store for today?
Yeah, well, that's what the sheriff reported when he was escorting this caravan here. And this is the big day. This is the final day that they've made it to the Texas-Mexico border. A lot of these people have been on the roads for 5 full days. And that is a long, long journey. And they're staying right behind me at this ranch in Quemado, Texas. It's about 20 miles from Eagle Pass. And as you said, you know, that 300-car caravan, a local sheriff had to come in and escort them here. And then when they arrived here late last night, we'll show you this video, there were flags, a lot of people cheering them on, welcoming them here. And there have been a lot of people that were already here in the first place, just ready for them to get here. And then today, later at noon, the doors are about to open for this rally that's going to take place all day. So there's a lot of excitement for that. Throughout this whole trip, as I said, we saw people, you know, waving them on overpasses, on the highways, on the sides of the road. We've been asking organizers, you know, what is it that you're going to do? What's the plan once you get to the border? And every single time they say, listen, we just want to make our message clear that we are calling for tighter border security. And some of them are here to pray. This is a religious experience for them to show their support for Texas law enforcement, who, in their view, is standing up to the federal government on this.
It's just a rally. It's a gathering of patriots, people that are just here to have a good time and worship. And worship. And worship. A gathering of patriots, people that are just here to have a good time and worship.
They're there to have a good time and worship. That's what they're there for, to have a good time. They're patriots who want to have a good time and worship. Is that what they're down there doing? I thought they were going to stop the migrants. I thought they were against the migrants. No, they're patriots having a good time who want to worship. Oh, okay. And Paul, I don't really do Joe Biden that much. I think I maybe have tried once. I mainly do Trump. So I'm not known for a Joe Biden impression. I would have to try and pick one of the versions of Joe, because there's like different versions of Joe. What makes doing a Joe Biden impression a bit tricky is the fact that he's been played by many actors. In my opinion, they have different people playing the role of Joe Biden, and they have like a CGI Joe. They have a Joe that fumbles over his words, and then they have a Joe that like says coherent sentences. And so I've seen him actually speak correctly and make it through a paragraph, and I've seen him fumble over his words and be like an incoherent, senile old man, to where that's the Joe people want to hear, is the senile one. But I've also seen him like not fumble his words. So to me, when I try and do a Joe impression, I have to like try and be overly senile and old sounding and purposely fumble my words. And it just doesn't come out as good as the Trump impression. You guys have, you can only ask me to do impressions that you know that I'm good at. Why are you asking me to do impressions that I don't really do? I'm gonna have to like put on a video of Joe and then like try and like have some of the creepy Joe seep into my soul so that I can perform it. But hold on, let's finish with this, and then I'll see if I can find something with Joe Biden talking about this, and I'll see if I can slip into character. If we watch a little piece of Joe, if I can do it. But let me just show you this, how they put this lady on camera, and she says they want to have some fun and worship. See, so they're making it all about Christianity, worship, Trump, right? Those all go together. That's what they want you to associate: Trump, support Jesus, over the top Christians. Yeah.
There'll be prayers and stuff. This is what it's all about. It's protecting each other. And it's not about fighting with anybody. And there's not going to be any problems down here.
Not going to be any problems. That is the message that organizers have also told us throughout the times that we've been following them for days now, that they want to remain peaceful. This is a prayerful event. They have a code of conduct on their website. People need to be law-abiding citizens. So that is sort of going to be the message going forward as they're camped out here for the rally. No telling how long they're going to be here, for the whole weekend or so. But we'll be here watching them for this event. And again, they've raised more than $160,000 for this trip, Henna.
Stephanie, on the ground in Texas, thank you so much.
The city we love needs change. News at the southern border, Washington hoping a deal to stem the tide could be close.
If that bill were the law today, I'd shut down the border right now and fix it quickly.
President Biden and lawmakers working on a bipartisan deal to expand the president's authority at the border. Lawmakers hopeful it can pass.
We do have a bipartisan deal. We're finishing the text right now.
This despite former President Trump opposing the deal.
I'd rather have no bill than a bad bill. A bad bill you can't have.
Mr. Trump condemning the deal in a flurry of Truth Social posts over the weekend, claiming without evidence there will be major terror attacks if migrants continue to come in. Other Republicans pushing back.
Donald Trump, the last thing he needs to do is tell them to wait to pass a border deal until the election. We can't wait one more day.
And it comes as Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott is in a standoff with the federal government.
So it appears that the border deal's just another way to get you to go left or right. So it appears it's just a straight up like choose Trump or choose Biden. And so they tie the group who's going down there to oppose the migrants back to Trump directly. So it's obvious that the Texas border deal and the people involved, it's not about keeping migrants from coming over at all. This is about ramping up and promoting the election. So the election's coming up. They want people to rally behind Trump. And this is how they get people to rally behind Trump. And they can confuse the Trumpers into thinking that this negative publicity means that they don't want Trump in office, when it's the opposite. Negative publicity equals positive promotion, because it convinces the Trumpers to rally behind their man. It convinces them to get out and vote. Then they think that the bad guys are against Trump. right? So it's a good way that they psychologically mind fuck Trumpers into thinking that the media is against their guy. All right, let me go back and answer some questions. I think I had some requests for the Mexican song. All right. You guys want me to sing every Mexican song that ever existed and bring up the Texas border? Let me see if I can do that. I think I can pull that off. All right. Goes a little something like this. And Texas border mañana Milano. There you go. Me want to go to Texas border. Me want to get in the USA. Me no want to live in Mexico because I think it's kind of gay. That's a Mexican who speaks English and sings the song. I don't know how that works. You figure it out. All right. Yep. I went there. Did I just go there? I went there. Uh-oh, somebody didn't like it. Somebody's unsubscribing because of that. I lost one of my best supporters just now. Blue Sky's mom doesn't like my Mexican song. Don't know what I'm gonna do now. I think one by one they're all gonna unsubscribe now that Blue Sky's mom has walked away. She's setting the example. That's right. All right. Okay. I'm gonna try and maybe pull up a Joe Biden impression out of my ass. I don't practice Joe Biden, so I'm gonna have to work on it. But let's see if I can just make something up off the top of my head for Paul Halo Cat. If it was up to me, I'd sign a border in the Declaration right now. I don't have a problem with migration, but you got to do it legally. You got to go through the process. See, it sucks. I can't. Fuck. I have to watch a Joe Biden video right now to be able to do it properly. Damn it. So that's what sucks if I don't practice it and have the character down and I whiff. See, I knew that would happen. And I have to look up a Joe Biden speech and get this at least halfway right. Okay. Let's watch me practice.
I do hold them responsible in the sense that they're supplying the weapons to the people who did it. We'll have that discussion. We'll see. I don't think we need a wider war in the Middle East. That's not what I'm looking for.
Donald Trump be allowed on the ballot.
As far as I'm concerned, that's fine.
Why is he even opposed to be the threat to democracy, as you say?
Because guys like you.
What am I doing?
Jesus, man.
There's just not as much character there for me to latch on to. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, even if I did that, what he just did as best I can, it doesn't have the same comedic impact as like when I do Trump, because he doesn't have enough damn character or anything about him, really. See what I'm saying? Like what he just said there is very boring. So for me to do like an over the top, really good impression is kind of challenging. See what I'm saying? There's just not a lot to work with besides fumbling over your words on purpose.
You hold them responsible in the sense that they're supplying the weapons to the people who did it. The people who did it. Them responsible in the sense that they're supplying the weapons to the people who did it.
Holding response at times of the weapons to the people who did it. That'd be fine with me. See, maybe I'm just not meant to do a good Joe Biden. Damn it. I know my limitations. I know what I'm good at. I don't know. There's not enough there for me to grasp onto. Damn it. See, with Trump, it's completely different. With Trump, I have all this character to grab hold of and work with. With this guy, there's just not there. Sorry to let people down. I just don't do a very good Joe Biden impression. So I would recommend that you don't ask me to do Joe Biden. SGD Galvez with a donation. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. When you re-elect me as your Lord and Savior, excuse me, President of the United States, once again, the greatest country there ever was, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of all men who are playing women's sports. Have you heard that? That's his new one. That's one of his new lines he's rolling with. He's going to get rid of all the men in women's sports. Have you guys heard this one? Here, let me pull it up. That's one of his new slogans that he's running with, actually.
I will keep men out of women's sports. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I will keep men out of women's sports. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Yeah. See? Well, how come he didn't do that when he was in office last time? Hey, Trump! Why didn't you get rid of men and women's sports last time? Hey, Trump! Name one man who's playing women's sports. Oh, too chicken shit to name one? Huh? You're gonna fix it, but you're not gonna name a single one? You know, hey, Trump, what about the Williams sisters? Tell us what you think about the Williams sisters, Trump. Oh, you're not gonna say anything? too chicken shit, Trump? So, any Trumpers here, ask your boy why he's so chicken shit that he never got rid of men and women's sports before. How come he won't name one of them? Gonna get rid of men and women's sports. That's not gonna happen. Will Trump come back as president? Probably. Will he get rid of men and women's sports? Fuck no. That's a lie. But guess what? Trumpers do what? Yay! Woo! They cheer! I know that was probably piped in crowd noise as well. But Trumpers are that stupid that they cheer for any stupid shit he says. I'm going to get rid of all the men who are pretending to be women who are playing sports. That's the first thing on my agenda. Oh! Okay. There's always somebody dares speak against my ultimate comedy and truth and will say, Jake, Trump is a good guy. You don't know. You're wrong about Trump, Jake. He's playing 5D chess with them Democrats. Bring it on. Bring it on. There's always one buried in the chat somewhere who wants to tell me that I'm wrong about Trump. Silver Surfer says, thanks, Jake. Learned a lot from FE, from you and Q and Feet. Cheers from Berlin. Hey, thank you. Yeah, this spring, summertime, I'll look to do a few FE videos and streams. I'll have to get Q and feedback on. I like to do at least a few flat Earth videos and streams per year because the Earth is not a globe, and that is the biggest deception that there ever was, in my opinion. And still tons of people thinking they live on a spinning paroid in an infinite space vacuum, shooting around the galaxy at unfathomable speeds while you don't feel any of it because the word gravity. Yep. Gotta love it. Then there'll be somebody like this who says the moon is made of cheese. It's all a big joke, right? Yeah, sure, man. Just say the moon's made of cheese, and that's what makes it funny. You're the first guy to say moon is made of cheese, right? That's an original thing you came up with. Very clever. Just giving you shit, just in case you're trying to give me shit. So yeah, Trumpers think that Trump is going to get rid of men playing women's sports. How many people believe that's going to happen? All the men pretending to be women are going to be gone? Wow. Quite the claim. Pete Crumb, I prefer dude who knows that the Earth is not a globe. I'm a dude who knows that the globe and outer space is bullshit. I don't like to be labeled flat earther because there's a bunch of government agents who run channels where they spew bullshit about the flat earth. And I don't associate myself with them. And I have videos calling every one of them out. Every one of them, including Eric Dubay. So, you better get your shit straight before you dare think that you're going to somehow sway my audience by calling me flat earther. You're going to have a problem. What else did Trumpy say? What else slogan is Trumpy running with? There's another. Ties directly into what we were just talking about.
When I'm president, instead of trying to send Texas a restraining order, I will send them reinforcements. When I'm president, instead of trying to send Texas a restraining order, I will send them reinforcements.
So now he's tied directly to the border. See? So the Trumpers are at the border. They call themselves God's Army. They make it out like they're hardcore Christians out for having fun and prayer. And they're down there at the border, and then you have Trump directly endorsing it, saying he would send reinforcements. See? Yet people will say that the evil democrats in the deep state are trying to hold him down. No. The government wants you to rally behind Trump. It's a rally cry. They want you to choose that side. And if you don't like that side, well, then they got Biden for you. But there is no third choice. There's no choice where a guy's saying, hey, screw both these damn puppets that are controlled. So, pretty small event. It didn't draw that many people. Sarah Palin and Ted Nugent are attached, though. So, how legitimate is something where Sarah Palin and Ted Nugent shows up? That's what you got to ask yourself. Got a super chat coming in from Philip Basham. Thank you very much, Philip. I appreciate that.
We have to stand up and fight for what is right. Every violation of our charters of liberty is going on right now. Article 1, Article 4, different clauses in our charters of liberty that our federal government is sanctioning to allow this invasion. Like I say, if that's not treason, I don't know what treason is via our leaders. So for you all to be standing up and saying, you know what, enough is enough. We're not going to take it anymore. We're going to take our country back. You are.
You know what? We're not going to take it anymore. We're going to take our country back. So we are going to take it. You know what? We are going to take it. We are going to take it. Yes, we are going to take it. We're going to take our country back from you whores. Everybody now. We are going to take it. That's right. Yes, we are going to take it. We're going to take our country back from you whores. All right. I don't know about you guys, but I'm motivated now. Sarah Palin's involved. I mean, now you know it's legit. Now you know it can't be infiltrated. Now you know it's 100% grassroots. Now you know the good guys are definitely going to win. Deep state shaking on their knees now that they know Sarah Palin's involved. You know who else is involved? Motor City Madman, motherfucker. Motor City Madman, that's right. Well, I don't know why they come, but they sure do come. I hear they coming for me. I got some Texas border fever. Meow, meow, meow. Texas border fever. Wow, now, now. I got some razor wire fever. Meow, meow, meow. Kill some migrant fever. Meow, meow, meow. I want to shoot some migrant fever. Meow, meow, meow. Want to skin a migrant beaver. Meow, meow, meow. Skin a migrant beaver.
beaver, skin a migrant beaver.
All right, there you go. Skin a migrant beaver. All right. This guy's such a character. I used to actually respect his music because he is a fairly good guitar player, or he was back in the day. But once you attach yourself to politics completely, and then your music becomes like which politician you have your head up their ass, like Kid Rock or Ted Nugent, they're basically just have their head up Trump's ass all the time. That's like what that becomes their character. He used to be a guy who played guitar and liked to hunt. And then it became like, oh, Andy's hardcore right wing and he has his head up Trump's ass. Well, then now I don't like you. I'm cool with you being a crazy guitar player who likes to hunt and loves guns. I'm cool with that. Got no problem with that. Once you stick your head up Trump's ass and do shit like this, well, now I got no respect for you. You know?
Wasn't performing his constitutional duties. So she challenged him. He didn't respond adequately. So she became governor. Sarah Palin didn't invent the middle finger, but she perfected it. Get back into absolute constitutional America. And if somebody's running for office that wants your vote, ask them, do you think I need a permit or a license or any man's authorization to have a gun in my belt? And if they hesitate, do not vote for them. That's the tip of the spear. If another man thinks he can tell me where, if, how, or what with I can defend my life, that is a bad, bad, evil man on the side of Joe Biden. I get to.
Yes, anyone who's against your gun is a bad man like Joe Biden. But Trump's not against your gun. Trump's a good guy. So stick your head up his ass. Woo! He's going to get rid of the men in women's sports. Woo! Oh, man. I don't know how people fall for this shit. But they do. Oh, they do. People out there falling for. My bad. I hit the wrong button. Whenever shit like that happens, people think that I just got shut down because that's usually how it happens. It's just boom and it's gone. But I hit the back button on my streaming program and I meant to just exit out the video. Anyway, moving on. So my thoughts that the government and government agents were going to be involved. Well, they got your controlled celebs, your controlled rock star already involved. Let me show you. It's basically just a tiny group.
Amazing.
Go. Sorry, I thought I was sharing my screen. I got some drone footage that I meant to show you. So basically, it's not very big at all. It's very tiny. And so logistically, the group could never shut down or stop any migrants. I mean, any migrants trying to cross that they stopped would just be inconvenienced for a short time, right? So they're like, if you look like, it's very small. It's pretty pitiful when you look at it. This is it, guys. This is your convoy that was supposed to draw hundreds of thousands of people and whatnot. That's it. So that group of people, like, what are they really gonna do? How many migrants can they stop? And for how long? Right? Nugent's part of Team Evil. Same with, guys like Kid Rock and anybody who attaches themselves to the right wing. They're all on the world stage playing a part, man. They know damn well that the votes don't count. I'll bet you if Trump wins, he'll say that the vote was legit and that it wasn't rigged. No, Trumpers don't talk about the votes being rigged if Trump wins. No, it's only rigged if Biden wins. See how that works? If Trump wins, the American people stand up and made their voice heard. If Biden wins, it was rigged. All right. So we see that it's a tiny group. And then the more research I did into this group, the more red flags that I came across. Let me try and find the dudes that were baptizing each other. That was when I was like, okay, now it's like they're faking that they're Christian. I have a feeling that these guys are like fake Christians pretending to be hardcore Trumpers. All right, let me try. I'm gonna try and find where they do their baptism ceremony and stuff.
She got that little bitty hole there. The night that General Washington and she got cut again up there on Shiloh Hill. Now, she got that big old rip down in New Orleans when Packingham and Jackson went tugging at her seams. Why, with Robert E. Lee, Beauregard, and Bragg, honey, that old south wind blew mighty hard on that ragged old flag. Why?
For those wondering what this is, that's what they're doing down there. Yeah, they're not stopping migrants. This is what they're doing. They set up a stage and they have an old lady up there talking. Lady. And if you listen real closely, it's almost like this group has nothing to do with what they were saying that their whole cause was about, really.
She nearly fell at the Alamo But beside that Texas flag, she waved on, no. Why, she got that great big old hole back in World War I from the shell of one of them big old Bertha guns. And I seen her turn blood red in World War II. And she hung limp and low a time or two.
Oh, you're worthy.
Okay, so a bunch of unorganized, bad country Christian music that looks like it's being purposely performed bad. Now, I can't remember the exact part. I don't know if it was this stream, but I saw on one part of the stream they were doing a baptism. They had this tub of water. I don't know if I'll be able to find it again. It was on a live stream, and this guy has done live streams that are 5-6 hours long and shit. So I don't know if I'll be able to pinpoint the exact moment, but basically, like, who wants to do their baptism down there at the Texas border? Like, who plans that sort of thing? Like, if you're into Christianity and whatnot, like, do you really need to travel with these people and get baptized, like, down at the Texas border with these people, like, leading you? It just very strange. And then if you go down there, this is what you're getting. You're getting Christian country songs that look like they're basically trying to improvise on the spot. Local Enterprise says, I want to feel bad for the useful idiots, but then I remember these boomers invented the reverse mortgage and sold their kids' future for a stupid RV. There's a handful of useful idiots, but I'll bet you it's mostly actors and government paid stooges. The group looks so small that it just doesn't look like that many actual Americans showed up. It looks like it's mostly stooges pretending to be hardcore right-wing Christians. And there could still be something that goes down. So I'm going to show you guys, Alex Jones has predicted that there might be an attack. He said that he got word from the government that a white supremacist attack is imminent. I'll play that next. So this is what the group is actually doing. This is what's on their main stage, is stuff like this. All right, Alex Jones is, of course, controlled opposition. I'll do a little Alex Jones impression. That's one of them I do. But first, we'll listen to the real AJ. Or should I say Bill Hicks? We'll see what he has to say.
Clip and see what he says.
We've got a great team on the border right now, Chase Geyser and some amazing other people. I'm not going to say their names. And they met with good federal agents today who showed them the memo that they're saying imminent white supremacist attacks in Eagle Pass. Now, whether that's a real threat or not, the point is good people gave us this information. It fits into the whole Biden narrative to demonize the American people and to try to legitimize a totally open border and all the crime and all the sex trafficking that's happening. So obviously, we believe it's probably a false flag. There are some actual crazy people out there as well in this whole crisis that America is in right now. I'd say 90% chance that, yeah, they're probably provocateurs. But regardless, this is real intel. This is real information. We've got crew down there right now. We're reporting on it all at Infowars.com/show. I'll be on the air tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central, on my regular show, covering it all as well. But our crew is down there at the border, and this comes directly from high-level sources. So this is major breaking news that the feds have told the major Border Patrol facility there in South Texas, prepare for imminent white supremacist attack on the Border Patrol. So we're getting this out ahead of time. Hopefully this exposure will stop it if it's actually a real plan. I don't know all the answers. I don't know if it's a false flag. I don't know.
Okay, so what's the one thing Alex Jones doesn't say? That it's going to be fake. That's what I say. I said, whatever happens, it's going to be fake and staged and phony, right? Alex Jones uses the word false flag. He doesn't say fake. He doesn't say it's going to be a hoax. He says he spoke with good federal agents. I can replay the video. He said, I spoke with good federal agents. They said a white supremacist attack is imminent. A white supremacist attack? What is that? White supremacist attack. Yeah, they want you to believe there's white people who love being white so much and hate everyone who's not white, and they get together and they have these hateful little rallies, and then they, want to go to the Texas border where there's a bunch of feds and commit a crime and, get caught on purpose. Yeah, sure. Okay. He doesn't say there's going to be a fake attack with a bunch of fake white supremacists. Did he? Did he say that there's going to be fake white supremacists? Because that's what it would be. Come on. In 2024, we're going to act like
skinheads and Nazis who hate people who are brown and black get together and come up with evil plans. And then the FBI knows exactly when and where their evil plans are going to take place. And they tell Alex Jones. And then he tells us. Okay. Fucking stupid bullshit. Okay. There's still people who show up to my channel and say, bro, I don't know why you think AJ's controlled. There's no way AJ's controlled. He tells too much truth. Really? Seems like he said false flag. White supremacist attack imminent. He didn't say it's going to be fake as fuck. Did he? No. Will he do that? No. Does he ever do that? No. Folks, these damn globalists, they're planning some sort of false flag. They're going to turn the migrants gay. These are military-age men. They're going to come across the border. All right. They've been turned gay the same way that the frogs were turned gay. They're going to come across the border. They're going to try to, well, do you really want me to tell you what they're going to try to do to your ass? I don't know about you, but I'm fixing to take my frustration out on these gay migrants.
This is all a comedy show. Everything that I'm saying is for comedy purposes only. Don't nobody go getting offended. I'm just kidding. And what I'm saying is totally true. SG says, check out the new movie trailer, Civil War. Yeah, I could do that. There's a few trailers. I wanted to also go over the ISS trailer because they show a bunch of fake, phony shit, brainwashing in the ISS trailer.
Folks, I'm fixing to eat my neighbor's ass. My neighbor is one of them damn demon-crats. He's got a plump, juicy rump roast, and me and my babies will not go hungry. If there's going to be another lockdown, First thing I'm going to do, eat my neighbor's plump, juicy ass and feed it to my daughters. We will not go hungry. We shall not be denied juicy ass meat. There ain't nothing finer than Democrat ass meat jerky. And of course, I like to wash it down with some of my male enhancement fertility pills, the finest lab made in America fertility male enhancement pills that you could ever find.
And see, the thing is he did say that he would eat his neighbor's ass. So that I expand on that, but you literally can find him saying that he will eat his neighbor's ass. That's verbatim. So I stole that part from him straight up verbatim, and then I just add on all the rest to make it like extra over the top. But there is a clip that you can go isolate where he says before he goes hungry, he will eat his neighbor and feed his neighbor to his daughters. That's a real thing. So it's like some people think I go over the top with these impressions. Yeah, I do. But he's also pretty over the top already. All right, who else was there? That's not all. But wait, that's not all. We got another controlled opposition stooge there at the border. Any guesses, anyone? Who it was? Anyone else who might be down there? Maybe I passed up the video. There it is. Jailbreak Overlander. Of course. It's got this video monetized. Of course.
With the National Guard than I could possibly imagine. But let me just show them to you so you can see for yourself. They are absolutely everywhere. So any gate that is open is going to be welcomed by concertina wire troops, and canines, because they're absolutely everywhere, as well as some unknown agency fellas. But what good would any type of an operation be without unknown entities? You see what I'm saying? But that's just how it works. And I'm showing you this over and over again because I've been out here for 4 days now, and I'm not out on Main Street waving a flag or waiting for some governor to show up so I can get him on my YouTube channel, because I don't care about that. I want you to see for yourself that there are a lot of troops back here, and there is just as many border patrols. So the mainstream media telling you that these guys are, there's a siege going.
I mean, my thing is, I wouldn't want to be back there patrolling around federal agents when there's about to be something going down. See, I think about stuff like, I don't want one of them to like pull me over and start asking questions or whatever. Like, I wouldn't want to go messing around back there where there's unmarked government vehicles and whatnot. Oh, but Richie's such a badass that he'll go back there. Richie doesn't care if he gets detained and locked away by any of these agencies. No, he's such a badass. He just goes right out there and films it. Okay. Maybe because he has clearance. Maybe because he works with them, he gets to ride around and do that. I wouldn't go fuck around like that because I don't have clearance. And, I'm not looking to get into any trouble whatsoever. I already open my mouth a lot. I really don't need to get stopped and questioned by any agents down there. But Richie doesn't seem to have a problem.
Going on, and they're confronting each other, and Border Patrol can't do their job. That's absolutely 100% horse apples. It's not true. It's not.
And then he shows a horse shitting where you have to look inside the horse's asshole and see the shit on his video when he says horse apples.
Not real. But before I left, I wanted to get you footage so you can actually see what's going on inside Eagle Pass military base camp, the real lockdown. I'm even going to show you the Mexican border. So check this out. In my time out here, I've had an opportunity to talk to every agency that works out here. And the thing that blew me away is many of them knew who I was. And I wasn't even driving my truck.
They knew who he was. How about that? All the government agents know who Richie from Boston is. And they let him drive around and film and do whatever he wants. Of course. How does that work, right?
I was out there driving around on the dirt roads, right past all the government agents. They knew who I was. They were waving at me. We went out to dinner together. All right. We had drinks. We got to know each other. All right. You might as well consider me one of them. But at any rate, I digress.
So Richie was there. So far, nothing has popped off, but we have heard possible threats of a white supremacist group. Sure.
The United States Senate could reveal today details of a hotly debated bipartisan immigration reform bill. The battle in Washington comes amid anger and frustration across the country over the overwhelming number of migrants crossing into the United States from Mexico. NBC's Priscilla Thompson is in the border town of Eagle Pass, Texas this morning. Priscilla, good morning.
Willie, good morning. This weekend, a trio of anti-immigration rallies took place in Arizona, California, and not far from here. Hundreds of people drove for hours from across the country to take part in these, quote, take our border back convoys. And while there was talk on social media of civil war and violence, these demonstrations were peaceful demonstrations. Some folks even making their way down to the border, many of them telling me that they were surprised. They thought that things would be worse here. Now, border apprehensions were down in January more than 50% compared to the record highs that we saw in December. But still, demonstrators here say that more needs to be done.
We've got kids coming across the border. They're being sex trafficked across the border. We've got terrorists coming across the border. And everything the Biden administration is doing is constitutionally illegal.
And these rallies come as the Senate is preparing to vote on a new immigration bill this week, the text of which could be released today. But already, former President
across the border. We've got terrorists coming across the border. And everything the Biden administration is doing is constitutionally illegal.
I like how all the Trumpers act like the only sex trafficking comes from over the border. All the bad guys come from over the border. We don't have any homegrown bad guys here. in the good old US of A? No, they all come from south of the border. The terrorists, they're coming from south of the border. Anything that's bad that you don't like comes from south of the border, right? And this guy, he's a Trumper, so you know that he got a good head on his shoulders. He's thought these things through. Look at his overalls, right? Like it's a clown uniform. They push this narrative like, yeah, there's sex trafficking going down there at the border. And it's Biden's fault. There wasn't no sex trafficking when Trump was in charge. No sex ever got trafficked when he was president. It all started when Biden took over. It stopped them migrants down there doing all sex trafficking. It's because of the open borders' fault. Trumpers are such morons. That's how they sound literally. Whenever I make fun of a Trumper, I like literally have their all their talking points down. And if you don't agree with that, then you must be a Biden supporter. Because every Trump supporter knows if you don't agree with everything we say, then that must mean you voted for Biden. So yes, every Trump supporter who's ever disagreed with me will assume I must have voted for Biden. That's the only way I could possibly think what I'm saying. They all have the same talking point, you know, all those bad guys coming across the border. Well, dude, the border is really long. There's not a fence going across the whole thing. And so back when you know, Clinton was still in office, people were coming over. And then when Bush was in office, people were coming over. And when Obama was in office, people were coming over. The first time when Trump was in office, they were coming. So when is the point where like people decided that now is the time? Now they've had enough. Now no more. And what are they really going to do about it? Go down there and have a country concert. That's it. And pray. We're going to go on down there and have a country concert. Oh, okay. That's definitely going to stop all those migrants. What about all the migrants who already came 10 years ago and set up a family and a network here? Nothing? Yeah, you can't do nothing about that. Sad that this fools so many people.
And these rallies come as the Senate is preparing to vote on a new immigration bill this week, the text of which could be released today. But already, former President Donald Trump is opposing the bill. Meanwhile, the House is moving forward with the impeachment process for Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, with the House Rules Committee set to meet on that tomorrow.
Monday.com.
Come on, my God!
Yeah, it's just a Trump rally, y'all. Just a teeny little Trump rally infiltrated with a bunch of government agents and actors. And then there's probably a handful of people who like think it's legit. But what are they doing? All they're doing is sitting there listening to bad country Christian music and listening to some stupid people talk. So if you were a regular person and you showed up to this, what are you really participating in, you know? So is this going to stop the bad guys? Not at all. All right. So we'll go ahead now that I've talked about that. We can just take questions and stuff, and I'll try and read some comments because I've been talking for a long time. Leslie pretty much has it right. She says, it so looks like it totally sucks there. Yeah, not something I would want to do. I think I'd rather watch fake and phony football all day than go participate in that shit. Ed D says, looks like a Tyler Swifty concert. Funny thing is, a bunch of Trumpers are saying she's going to help swing the election for Biden. So now there's this conspiracy theory that she's on Team Biden and she's going to help swing the vote for those evil Democrats. And it's like, you guys, the votes aren't actually counted. The whole thing is a sham. It's a selection. There is no real election. But still, the Trumpers, like to hang their hat on some crap that, like, the Swifties and the deep state are all out to get them. But of course, if Trump wins, then they'll be like, the American people stood up and made their voices heard, and they defeated the Swifties in the deep state, fair and square. It's fair and square if Trump wins. But if Biden wins, then it's because the Swifties stole the election. Uh-oh. We got a Trumper. Trump never started a war. Are you a Trumper? Are you trying to say, like, that means he's a good guy? That means he's on team good? He's here to help because he never started a war? Wars are fake. Yeah. You haven't figured out yet? A lot of wars aren't quite what you think they are. Manufactured for television. Is there real bloodshed? Yeah, but not so much anymore. Not quite like there was in wars past. So are today's wars like the wars of old? No. Mostly it's all made for television bullshit. And Trump is every bit as evil as Biden. There is no difference. They work for the same team. The only case you can make is that Trump's more entertaining. So if you prefer Trump because he's more entertaining, I agree. Other than that, if you say he's a better choice or the lesser of two evils, that's ridiculous and it's wrong. Let me go ahead and repeat this for anybody who still hasn't figured it out. They work for the same team, right? You can't be on this team one day and then come out and say you're not on that team. That's like WWE wrestlers who are, baby faces, and then they turn heel, and then they turn baby face again, and then they turn heel, and then back to good guy, right? So Trumpers always have to do mental gymnastics whenever I show these pictures and be like, well, he used to be friends with the Clintons, and then he realized that they's demons, and then he stopped being their friends. Now he don't like them no more. I love watching Trumpers squirm whenever I show proof that he's an evil, no good piece of shit who works with the other evil, no good pieces of shit. Born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Been on Team Evil since the beginning. Promoted the vax and the booster. Never once told you outer space is fake. Did Trump ever tell you outer space is fake? No! Did he ever tell you any of the shootings that occurred under his watch or Biden's watch were fake? No! Will he ever? No! I told you that. So who tells more truth? Me or Trump? Me, by 1,000,000,000,000,000%. I would argue Trump's never really told you any new awesome truth. He's never broke any news to you where you were like, holy shit, no way. Right? So, whenever someone tells me, dude, you're wrong about Trump, I say, fuck you, get lost, don't ever watch me again. That's what I say. Go ahead. Try and tell me I'm wrong, and I'll make you look like a fool and prove my point as I always do. These guys are not on your team. None of them care about you. Let me show a old video that is short, but it gets to the point. My computer's running super slow. I need to get a new one. Keeps wanting to lag out.
We are a nation that has lost its way, but we are not going to allow this horror to continue. 3 years ago, we were a great nation, and we will soon be a great nation again. With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists. We will throw off the sick political class. We will rout the fake news media. We will drain the swamp, and we will liberate our country from these tyrants and villains once and for all.
Are you fucking serious?
With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. But I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccines. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists. We will throw off the sick political class. But I happen to take the vaccine. We will rout the fake news media. We will drain the swamp, and we will liberate our country from these tyrants and villains once and for all. It shows you how unpainful that vaccine shot is. So everybody go get your shot.
It works incredibly well, 95%, maybe even more than that. It works incredibly well. And I would recommend it to a lot of people that don't want to get it. And a lot of those people voted for me, frankly. But, you know, again, we have our freedoms and we have to live by that. And I agree with that also. But it's a great vaccine. It's a safe vaccine, and it's something that works.
I recommend you take it, but I also believe in your freedoms 100%.
When you have the vaccine, people that do, and it's a very small number relatively, but people that do get it get better much quicker. And it's a very important thing to know. They don't get nearly as sick, and they get better. Lindsey Graham's an example. He said, if I didn't have this vaccine, I would have died.
And you know what? I believe totally in your freedoms. I do. You got to do what you have to do. But I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccines.
Put on your yarmulke, Trumpy celebrates Hanukkah. So much funukkah when he overthrows America. He puts on his little hataka and he goes to Jerusalem, and then he touches the Wallaka, the Jerusalem Wallaka, 'cause he loves to celebrate the Hanukkah. Oh yes, I love touching this wall. I love wearing this hat. I love touching this wall. I'm going to make America so great. Ooh, yeah. Hillary, Bill, I gotta tell you, that was some of the best swinging I've ever done. Me too. I had a great time. We should get together and do this more often. In the words of the great George Carlin, it's a big club, and you and I aren't in the club. Your hair smells nice, little girl. Would you like to be part of our club? We like little girls in our club.
We have many companies that are in final stages for the vaccines, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, Pfizer, all great companies, but many of them. And we're going to have a great vaccine very, very shortly. I think we should have it before the election, but frankly, the politics gets involved, and that's okay. They want to play their games. It's going to be right after the election. I want to get for you what I got, and I'm going to make it free. You're not going to pay for it. It wasn't your fault that this happened. It was China's fault, and China's going to pay.
So any Trumpers here, start doing mental gymnastics right now and start making ridiculous excuses. Go. Oh, and to this person, Bonnie, I don't know you think Witsit is legit truther, but look at his zombie. Witsit rolls with Jaron and Dave Weiss. Jaronism works for the government. You know, he's an informant on behalf of the government. Jaronism filed a false restraining order against me. I've never met him. And he wanted a protective court order against me after he challenged me to a penis measuring contest. So your boy Witsit hangs out with Jaron all the time and participates in controlled fake debates all the time. You know, with Craig Fight the Flat Earth and all those losers who always win the debate. The Globers, who they have on, work for the same side as the Flat Earthers over there. Those fake Flat Earthers and Globers are one team who put on fake debates where the Globers always make the Flat Earthers look stupid. And it's done on purpose. Your boy Witsit is a clown. Hangs out with federal agents. Is he too stupid to figure it out, or is he one of them? Those are your choices. He's a fucking idiot who hasn't figured out that he's hanging out with agents, or he's one of them. Only two options. There is no other option. Jake being wrong about these guys being agents? Yeah, not. David Weiss, proven agent. I've already went over it. Already have the videos cataloged here on the channel. Jaronism, have it all cataloged here on the channel. Just scroll back a ways. You can find it. I've demolished these shills, spanked them over my knee until they begged me to stop. So, if you want to roll with the dude that rolls with the guy who wanted to measure my penis and who tried to get a restraining order against me, that's Witsit's right-hand man, is Jaron. Shills of a feather flock together. Understand, Bonnie? Maybe you should go research the flat earth. You know, those guys who talk about it and how they're full of shit. Yeah, that's part of the subject. Don't come to my channel and bring up shill channels. All you'll cause me to do is get pissed off and take my anger out on you. Like the guy who came here like, talk about Owen Benjamin. And then he got himself banned. Guess who ties back to Jaron and Dave Weiss? Owen Benjamin. Had a guy here last stream who wouldn't shut the fuck up about Owen Benjamin. And guess who Owen Benjamin hung out with? Jaronism and Dave Weiss. The Baby Truther Show. I can tie them all back. All these shills. I can tie them all back. That's funny, isn't it? You thought Witsit was legit, even though he hangs out with Jaronism. If you haven't figured out, Jaronism's totally a government shill. then that means you don't pay attention. Yeah, outside of myself and Q and Fee, there's pretty much not a flat Earth channel that I want to endorse or point to. The only channels that I would point to besides myself would just be Q and Fee. It's like the only two channels. Myself, Q and Fee. Those are the. If you want to hear about the Earth not being a globe, those are your only two non-infiltrated choices. Yeah, Dubé, total government agent since the beginning. He still repeats that the sun goes in a circle, even though that's provably untrue. One sun going in a circle over an AE map is impossible. And I've proven it, and so has Q and Fee. And Q and Fee has nothing to do with Quanon at all, so don't anyone get confused. No, I'll give him a shout. I'll give my boy a shout out. Show you who I'm talking about. And I think he just did a video showing Jaron and Whitsitt losing in a debate to a Glober. So this is going to work out good. Yeah. Here it is. Look, flat Earth debatism, Jaronism, and Whitsitt. See, so Q and Fee already made a video showing how Jaron and Whitsitt both got schooled by some Glober. So they get schooled on purpose. Jaron loses every debate to a Glober on purpose. He sits there and lets them make point after point, and then he never really refutes any of their points. He never brings his A game. He purposely brings his F game. So if you want to cover anything as far as flat Earth in all the different maps, this is the guy right here, Q and Fee. He proves why the globe doesn't work. He proves why the AE map doesn't work. Rectangle maps, Pac-Man style maps, you name it. And we've done some streams together. So, oh shit, I thought I had his channel on screen. My bad. Thought I had this up on screen. Here it is right here. See, so he just did a video. So here's your boy Whitsitt, Bonnie. Here's your boy Whitsitt. Here's Jaron. And then here's the Glober. And they basically let this Glober school them. They end up looking like an idiot. It makes the Glober look like he wins the debate. And so here's Q and Fee's video, basically making fun of all three of these chumps. So I'll let you guys watch this on your own time if you want, but this is like the only channel I would recommend besides my own as far as this subject is concerned. All right, hey, if I got you wrong, then I apologize. It's just whenever I see someone bring a shill's name to my page, I want to slap the shit out of that person. Like, get off my, like it really irks me. And I always feel like it's one of them with a sock account promoting themselves, sending one of their little minions over here. And so, here's the thing is like, I'm not going to show any of his videos and I'm not going to support anything that he does or says. Anything that I might agree with him, he's still on the bad guy team. He's one of them. He hangs with them a lot. So I'll never have anything good to say. Did I miss a super chat or something, bro? I have been talking a lot and not paying attention, so That can definitely happen. Let me scroll back. You know I'm not trying to miss your super chat, man. And when I get to talking, I just don't even look at what people are saying because I can't read everyone's message and complete my thought like at the same time. It's conflicting. So basically everyone's messages just become a blurry heap of shit on the side of the screen while I talk. So a lot of times a super chat will just go shooting on by. Damn, I totally missed it. It says, what happened to fat guys from Pawn Stars? Yeah, some weird shit with that show. I remember when that show was super popular. I haven't kept up on it in a while, but I remember when that show was super popular, and God, it's been on TV for so long. And the last time I was in Las Vegas, people still line up to visit that pawn shop, even though none of those people from TV are going to be there. So none of the Pawn Stars guys are at the shop, but the shop in Vegas, people line up down the block, like 2 blocks. There's a line that you have to wait for like 45 minutes, an hour, just to go inside the pawn shop. And it's just a pawn shop. Is there some neat shit in there? Yeah, but I went in there many years ago, 10 years ago, back when the show was in its heyday, and none of the dudes are there. So then you just walk around the pawn shop in a line, and then you walk out, and you're like, that was stupid. So yeah, if you ever want to go check out the pawn shop, you're gonna wait in line for like an hour, and it's just a cruddy old pawn shop. There's 5 or 6 cool things that they have there at all times to make you go like, oh, neat, an old gun. Oh, cool, an old WWE championship belt. There's some shit in there that you're like, oh, that's cool. But after you look at it for a second, then you're like, okay, now what? Then you leave. But yeah, I heard that one of his sons died. One of Rick's sons just recently died, I think. Esquire 1995 says fake politics, fake Christians, fake border movements, real horse shit. That's right. David Yount said, assume they have been replaced, not just lost weight. I haven't watched Pawn Stars in a long time. And the only thing I heard recently was that like Rick's son died, but it was like a son that wasn't on TV. It wasn't Corey. So it was somebody I didn't even recognize. So I haven't kept up with Pawn Stars at all in many years. So back when, 10, 15 years ago, back when I like watched those shows, it's been a long time. Holy shit. So I know those characters from when I used to watch it many, many years ago, but I haven't kept up at all. But they do replace people on the world stage. That's for sure. For sure, they replace people. And so I can't keep up on every celeb that gets replaced. So a lot of times, if it's a celeb that I've never followed or anything and they get replaced, someone has to bring it to my attention. Like, for instance, someone brought to my attention Avril Lavigne has been replaced. And I was never like a big fan, so I never followed her. I was forced to have heard her songs a few times without wanting to. There's no way to escape hearing Skater Boy in your lifetime. But I never followed Avril Lavigne. So when someone told me that she's been replaced, I looked into it for like 20 minutes. And sure enough, the original chick and the current chick don't look anything like each other. And from what I heard, Avril Lavigne's biggest fan almost looked exactly kind of like her. So they basically just took Avril's biggest fan and turned it into Avril. And then they said that people were figuring it out because the handwriting was different, the facial features were a little different. So I had people bring it to my attention that Avril was replaced. And that was one that I didn't even know about until I looked into. And then when I looked into it on my own, I found it seems to be legit. That that's not the same chick. Also, another high-profile celeb who's been replaced, Britney Spears. Current Britney just does these weird, cringe dances on TikTok. And so, like, why would somebody like, at her age, who's made as much money and has as much fame, need to like go on TikTok and do these weird dances every day? And so once I took a look at that, I was like, okay, yeah, definitely not the same Britney no more either. So they definitely like to replace these pop superstars. It's like you can replace them with a cheap knockoff version who can't tell all the dirty little secrets. Yeah, see, that was one that, like I said, that it was brought to my attention. So that wasn't one I came up with and brought to you guys. That one was brought to me. And then when I looked into it, I agreed. I was like, yeah, that doesn't look like the same girl. So there's a thing where people naturally age, and then some people, their looks change over time, but it's still the same person, and you can tell. Whereas when they replace it with a different person, it's very obvious. So, like in the case like Eminem or Dave Chappelle, it's very, very obvious to me, and there's no convincing me otherwise. You know what I mean? There's like an aura that certain people have. There's like a personality that's very distinct, and when it changes drastically, you can't just be like, oh, they got older. It's like, yeah, but I fucking got older too. And you can go watch a video of me from over 10 years ago and tell that it's me. You can go watch me from before I even knew about any of this truth, before I ever talked about it. You can watch me play bass on stage and you can tell that it's me. It's not even close to being a fake, like you can look at the old Kid Rock and see and look at current Kid Rock, and it's the same Kid Rock. Has Kid Rock done a bunch of drugs over the last 10, 20 years? Yeah. And did he age? Yeah. Is it the same Kid Rock? Yeah. See, so there's nobody saying Kid Rock's been replaced, but a ton of people think that Dave Chappelle and Eminem have been replaced. See, so it's not just crazy guys like me saying it. It's tons of people all in agreement that this person has been replaced. And then there's other celebs, like I said, there is no Kid Rock's been replaced conspiracy. So it's not like I go out of my way to point at every motherfucker and say he's been replaced. So nobody can hold it against me and say, you think everyone's been replaced. No, I don't. I don't think everyone's been replaced. I take it on a case-by-case basis, just like I don't think every man in Hollywood is a female, and I don't think every female is a man. So I take it on a case-by-case basis. That's why you won't see me like pointing at every single dude and saying it's a chick, and every single chick and saying it's a dude, because that basically you discredit yourself. So I always take everything on a case-by-case basis. I would say that it's not a lady, and it's pretty obvious. Stephen Hawking's towards the end, I think, was like a wax figurine, like a highly realistic dummy. So towards the end, when it was just this, when he was just sitting there like drooling on himself, yeah, I think that was like a highly realistic dummy. Then they have the box talk for him, of course, and I know Rose and Jonna really like the Stephen Hawking impression. The destination of the Andromeda Galaxy is quite unknown. Man has reached the limitations of space travel and the limits of the Andromeda Jupiter Galaxy and the nearest moon and the planet Quasar. I don't know. Just start saying scientific terms. So whatever they had coming out of the box was some bullshit. And they were like, yeah, see, we created this technology where this guy who's basically a vegetable can think stuff and it comes out of the box. And it's like, well, how come no one else has that technology? Oh, no one else deserves it. No one else is smart enough except for Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking got to have the technology, but no one else deserves it. If your kid is born brain dead, they don't get to have a box that speaks. They don't deserve it. So yeah, they used to wheel out this basically this vegetable of a person, a wax dummy, you know. And then the box, the speaker, would do all the speaking. Science holds all the questions in the future for mankind. One day, man will be able to live upon Mars and will be able to cultivate food on Mars. Like, wow, that's cool that the box knows that's what he's thinking. He never accidentally thinks the wrong thing that comes through the box on accident, you know? Perhaps one day man will be able to use wormholes as a way to travel to the depths of the galaxy. And I'd also like to suck that lady's tits over there. Whoops, didn't mean to think that. Right? He doesn't accidentally think something that comes out of the box, right? Isn't that cool? All his thoughts come right out of the box perfect. He doesn't like have one accidental weird wrong thought that slips through. Isn't that cool how the technology works? Because you never have a weird, crazy thought that you don't want anyone to hear, right? I've never had a crazy thought that I don't want anyone to hear. Everything I've ever thought would be perfectly acceptable to come straight out of a box, right? Am I the only one who's ever thought about that? That, you know, what you think happens really fast and instantaneous, and sometimes you think some crazy fucked up shit and it would come right out of the box. How would you stop your crazy fucked up thoughts from coming out of that box? Am I the only one who's ever thought about this? I think they needed to get rid of Stephen Hawking and the technology and get it out of your mind, because it seems like I just destroyed the notion of that technology existing, right? With my flawless logic. How come the box never spoke any of the unwanted thoughts? Are you telling me it only speaks wanted thoughts? Just debunked the technology. It never fucking existed. That's why they got rid of it in him. Hey, how come no one else has that technology? I wonder if they're ever going to dust off that technology and give it to another celebrity who goes brain dead. You know? Think about it. Are they going to use that technology again for someone else? If they do, I'll be glad to point it out. Kelly Christine says, Ghost Ezra Telegram swears Trump is female. Yeah, I've seen that because he's got wide hips and can't grow facial hair. I know. I've heard that. Are any of us going to reach down in his pants and figure it out? No. So when it comes to stuff like that, I don't want to go too overboard with the Trump's a lady shit, but like, does he got some wide hips? Yeah. Does he grow manly facial hair? Nope. If we ripped off his shirt, would we see chest hair? I would guess not. Does that prove lady for sure? No. But Tom N says, all these politicians drink this same trough. Or all the while, I think you're trying to say, right? All the while, these politicians drink from the same trough. I think that's what you meant to say. That's right. And the trough is full of piss and shit. Kelly Christine says, Amelia BX says Pam Anderson is male. Could be. But back then in the 90s, like women getting breast jobs was like a big deal. That was when it like really started blowing up. It was like late 80s, early 90s. And so there were a lot of women that just got boob jobs and dyed their hair blonde and tried to go with that Pam Anderson look. So when I go back and look at old pictures of Pam, it doesn't scream male, but I guess anything's possible. Whereas nowadays, there's other examples which are definitely more obvious. Plus, there was porn of her and Tommy, and it didn't look like she had this horribly disfigured inside out vagina, right? So isn't there porn that you can go watch of her and Tommy from like back on when they were on a boat a long time ago? So is that 100% legit and trustable? Maybe not, but at the same time, like, it's something, right? Kelly Christine says, I agree with you about almost everything. No, she's not a bot, pure blood. Don't say that. She's been here for years. All right. I wanted to show you guys this trailer for the movie ISS because it's got a lot of predictive programming, if you will. Hi, my name's Enrique. So let me pull up the trailer for that.
From all of us down here in Mission Control, welcome to space. The Russians always knock 3 times. I think it's just a superstition.
Okay, so right away, it's a movie about being on the ISS. So it's a movie of life on the ISS with Americans and Russians. And then they show the globe Earth down below. First thing I noticed, the inside of this space station. Where's all the hanging and dangling wires? Huh? You cleaned up the place for the movie. The real space station, you know, the real fake one, has a bunch of hanging, dangling wires everywhere, right? So it looks like the movie set, they specifically went out of their way to hide all the shitty wires all over the place. Not very realistic, just pointing it out. And then they had to get the number 3 in there. The Russians always knock 3 times. Got to get their numbers in there.
Moscow down to Gonky Park, listening to the wind of change.
Wow. Blessing.
And here we have the fake view of Earth that none of you have ever seen with your own eyes. Brainwashing, they put this in tons of movies. In fact, it's like a movie studio logo for what, Universal? So the globe, they shove it into every space movie, basically. They basically globularize your world. They make you think that this is what it looks like if you were to go up there. None of us have ever seen the Earth as a ball with our own eyes. The only people who claim to have seen the Earth as a ball with their own eyes work for the government. That's right. Any person who claims to have went high enough outer space to see the Earth as a ball is nothing but a government employed liar. No regular person gets to go to outer space and see it for themselves.
Pictures, but this is.
We don't talk politics. Here we are one.
Down to Gonky Park, listening to the wind of change.
Wow. We have seen pictures, but this is.
We don't talk politics. Here we are one.
Okay, I see what they're doing here. So now they have the black girl, right? And they always have to have their mixed astronaut on board. And she's like, wow. Oh, I've seen it in pictures, but it's so beautiful. They make it out like if you go up there and you look out the window and you see the Earth as a ball, you're like, whoa. So fucking beautiful. I never imagined it would be so amazing. I saw pictures and I thought those were beautiful, but I never could have imagined how fucking absolutely spectacular it would be to see such a beautiful ball, right? Like it's that special and moving. I'm not being over the top. They sent Captain Kirk from Star Trek, right, to the up the outer space, pretend outer space, and he did the same thing. It was so beautiful that I cried when I saw the ball Earth with my own eyes. I couldn't help but cry tears. It was so freaking beautiful. Right, come on. I'm gonna sell you on a ball being so damn beautiful. You just won't believe your eyes when you see it. Okay. Then the Russian guy's like, we are all one. We are all one. Oh, okay, I see where this is going. Right? Movie starts off great. Everyone's in space. It's awesome. Beautiful ball. The Russians, United States, we're all one. But when does the conflict come into play? What's the conflict going to be?
Hey guys.
Wait a minute, what the hell is going on down there?
Oh, whoa.
We gotta get up now, guys. Let's get out.
Oh my god.
Земля, это экипаж МКС.
Houston, do you read?
Hey guys.
Wait a minute, what the hell is going on down there?
Oh, whoa.
We gotta go.
All right, this is some monumental fear-mongering bullshit. So this is what they want you to think it looks like from outer space to see your country get blown to shit. Nuked. They want you to think that this is what it looks like if you were in outer space and you watched your country get nuked. So what do they got going here? Well, the lie that the Earth is a ball, the lie that there's a space station, the lie that there's a such thing as outer space, and the lie that that's what it looks like if your country was to get nuked. It's all a bunch of brainwash and fake bullshit that doesn't exist. Nukes that blow up a country like that aren't real. The outer space that they're portraying isn't real. The space station is not real. Russia nuking America isn't real. But they've shoved it all into one movie trailer. They shoved all that brainwashing into one single trailer.
Get up now, guys.
Get out.
Oh my God.
Земля, это экипаж МКС.
Houston, do you read?
War has broken out below. And we were told to take the ISS by any means necessary.
What a thrilling story! Your country has been nuked to shit. Everyone you know is dead. All your family down there, dead. They called and said they want you to take the space station by any means necessary. You know what that means? You're gonna have to fight and kill the Russians in space and take over the space station. They already nuked your whole fucking country. So you better take over the space station, otherwise you're really screwed. You wouldn't want to have your country get nuked and lose the space station. What a story. Americans versus Russians on the space station. Wow. Who you rooting for? The good guys or the bad guys? I hope the Russians win. Because fuck those stupid Americans. That's what I think. Do you agree? You want the Russians to win? I hope so. Is this the same thing as like rooting for Rocky or Apollo Creed or Rocky versus the Russian? Do I have to root for Rocky? What if I want to root for Ivan Drago? Huh?
If we got orders from our government to take control,
What do you suggest we do now?
Did you ever think that we could be so close?
the Russians got the same orders as this. And they just struck first.
Struck first.
Oh, yeah, you have to watch that, right? Russia versus the United States on the fake station. Oh, God, I hope that the Russians win. Oh, man. They got me torn now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep not knowing the end of this.
Mutually. We're evolved species.
So there you have it, a murder thriller in fake outer space on the fake station with some fake nukes. Whoop de fucking do. You know, the thing is about a movie like that is like, it looks more realistic than the actual space station. How's that possible? How come the real space station looks faker than that movie? Right? All right. So now we just watched the trailer from the ISS movie. Now let's go look at some up-to-date recent ISS footage of the inside. And I always like to go to NASA video channel if I want to watch that. And we can get some up-to-date video. Here's one from 2 days ago. And I'll show you what they're calling real space. So that movie is a movie about space. Now let's look what they call real, actual, genuine space. And we'll look at the differences.
You guys have been great crewmates, participating in our daily activities on board the space station and contributing to life on board the space station. And for that, we want to thank you and to, again, wish you congratulations on a
That's what they, that's some footage from what they want you to believe is the real space station. There they are, the whole crew huddled all together. This is what they convince people is real outer space. Look how clean everyone is. Imagine living inside of a metal box for months and you can't shower for real. Everyone's perfectly shaved. Everyone's perfectly groomed. Everyone's clothes are perfect. Everyone just looks spectacularly crispy and clean. So well groomed. Meanwhile, you can't take an actual real shower, right? These guys are taking like sponge baths and looking like this all the time. Okay. What I love is that every time you watch one of these videos, they're just doing the same shit over and over again. They're just standing there answering questions. So basically, this is what goes on in the ISS, people. For over 20 years, they just send guys up there and they do interviews and answer questions. That's what they do. All day long, just hang out and answer questions up there. Never gets old doing the same job. So they always have all these super scientific jobs to do, you know, like answer the same questions over and over.
Yes, I do hear you. To travel and experience countries and different places and cultures started very early.
So these are virtual augmented objects. They don't actually exist. He sees this on a screen and then he pretends that he's playing with it, and it reacts as if he is playing with it. So when you see him playing with an object, they're going out of their way to be like, look, it's outer space. That's why this object is floating. It's like, bro, you've been up there for, like, you guys have been up there 20 years. We don't need to see objects floating. We know it's space. Why do you have to prove it's space? See, they have to constantly have an object to mess with to prove that they're in space, man.
When we moved to Thailand the first time outside of Denmark, and the rest of my childhood we moved between Denmark and other countries. We lived some years in Singapore in the middle of the 80s.
So basically every day, if you work on the space station, your job is to play with virtual reality objects and answer child questions about living on the space station and what it's like. That's what they do. That's all they do, is just talk about what it's like to live up there. After 20 years, what is that accomplishing? What are they really doing? Right? And like I said, in the movie, you didn't see all this wires and crap dangling around everywhere. So they want you to believe in real life, the space station has all these wires hanging and dangling everywhere. And it's just like a pile of shit everywhere you look. But in the movie, the hallways didn't have nearly as many wires. So the movies have better electrical work, more convincing electrical work than the real thing. How does that work? This is all they do, over and over and over and over. For years, they just do the same shit. Answering questions about being on the ISS.
Another experiment called fiber optic production, where we are investigating creating new optical fibers in space that are better than those created on Earth. It's like this is this time we're actually leaving Earth.
Okay, so here's what happens on the space station. Everyone smiles. Every video you find of someone on the space station, so happy. So fun being up here doing experiments. We're having so much fun. I love this. So great. I've been up here for 2 weeks and I haven't had a real bath or anything. Just playing with objects, floating around. So fun. Oh, when we go to the bathroom, we have a tube that sucks the shit right out of our ass. It's great. I like it better shitting into the vacuum here inside the space station than I do on Earth. Thanks for asking. They always have that fucking look on their face. You think it's that fun? Y'all think it's that fucking fun to go to space? That you're gonna smile like that all the fucking time? Come on, man. Well, you got to pretend it's really fun because you're on camera. That's what you do on the space station. You tell everybody about what you do on the space station. Every day for 20 fucking years. Don't we already know what people do on the space station? Do we need people to tell us what they're doing on the space station in 2024? Yes! In 2024, you still need to tell people why you're on the space station. You still need to play with shit and objects to let them know you're in space. And it's really a happy, fun thing. That's why everyone's so fucking happy to be up there. You might die at any moment, but who cares? It's cool because you're floating. It's so fun to float. Floating makes you smile forever. You won't ever get tired of being up there. It's just the most fun thing ever. Let's take a look at these chicks. Are they going to be frowning or are they going to be smiling? Take a guess.
Do that. Talk to friends and family back on Earth. And then also hang out with each other. We have a lot of fun up here together.
Yeah, what do you miss about Earth? If anything.
So why do they have to hang upside down? To prove they're in space. Right? So they have to do this shit for the camera to prove that they're in space, man. Even in 2024. You got to keep doing this. So if you look at the trailer for the movie we watched, and then you look at this, which one looks more realistic? I would argue that the movie looked better than this. The movie trailer looked better than this shit. So you have to go with the ass backward Elon Musk logic. Well, you know it's real Because it looks so fake. Yeah, you know, because fake things look real. I mean, real things look fake. Yeah. Paul Halo Cat says we don't there. Why don't they ever show anything out of the windows? Oh yeah, when like on these, yeah, they don't ever like take you over to the window typically. There are some videos, but not these ones where they have them answer questions and float around are always done like in like a corner, and then they just have them turn upside down or do like one backflip and answer some questions. Sometimes they'll have children ask the questions. My thing is like, dude, all these fucking questions have already been answered. If you're really doing space research and really doing hardcore scientific work, that's not going to be hanging upside down and talking to children each day. You might do that like once or twice when you first get up there. But after 20 years of being up there, why are you still fucking doing that? It's like they have to keep convincing us that they're doing something. And whenever you see a space walk, all they're doing is fumbling with some stuff. You never see them actually working on something. You never see a spaceman doing actual work. Whenever they're outside of the ISS, they're in a giant pool pretending to do something. So they have to pretend to be working. Furthermore, we don't have any footage of astronauts building the ISS. Does anyone got footage of an astronaut with a jetpack taking the first piece of ISS and starting to assemble it? This is the first piece of the International Space Station in my hands. All right, and now I'm going to assemble it to the second piece. This is the first step in building the International Space Station. Now I'm going to take my space drill. Okay, I've just connected the first two pieces of the International Space Station. Whoa, it almost floated away. So now space station construction has begun. Now we don't have video of the spacemen building the space station from start to finish. No, they didn't video that. It was just there one day. Tom says, diff our thousandaire mine in a billionaire world. Trying to like read that how you want me to say it. Diff our thousandaire mine in a billionaire world. I kind of get what you're saying, but the way you worded it is just not good. Tom, try again, Tom, and post what you meant to say, and I'll pull it up instead. So anyone who still believes in fake outer space, like you literally have to like argue that these ladies are upside down in the space station. So if anyone thinks I'm wrong and wants to argue that those are two ladies hanging upside down in the space station, anyone want to argue that? So what I love about the wiring is that if you go find any actual electrician and ask them about it, they'll be like, it's shit. I don't know why they do it that way. No electrician can explain to you why they do it that way. They'll admit that it's absolute garbage and that they have no clue why. So I've seen sheep try and tell me that they have the wiring out exposed like that so they can easily work on it, so they don't have to open up panels to get to it. And that's fucking ridiculous. My thing is all the technology's old. How are you going to rip all that out and then replace it every 4 or 5 years? Technology becomes obsolete really fast. So all this old space station technology should be completely obsolete and need to all be ripped out and replaced. But you don't ever hear about completely overhauling and ripping out every damn wire out of the space station and redoing it, right? So there's just so much wrong with all of it. And if you just point at any little thing, it falls apart like a stack of cards. But still, there's going to be somebody out there who will be like, Jake, the space station is real because you can see it. There's somebody who will tell me, I've seen the space station, so I know it's real. You seeing something in the sky that flies doesn't make what's inside there real. If what's inside the space station is provably fake, and it is, then that means there's not a real space station. So, anyone who claims to have ever seen something, that's not the same as proving that the space station exists with actual people inside hanging upside down. So, there's always somebody who wants to fucking challenge me who will claim that they have seen the space station, so therefore space station does exist. You might see some twinkly thing in the sky that moves, but you can't prove space station. It exists in your mind if you're a sheeple, but it doesn't actually exist in outer space. Land on the moon, we'll land on the moon. Land on the moon, we'll land on the moon. That's right, even India getting in on the act. So India can't put people on the moon, even though America did it in 1969. America can't do it no more either. But India did put a rover on the moon, supposedly. And you know what? They prayed to Lord Shiva beforehand. They were like, please, Lord Shiva, we are sending a very important rocket to the moon, and we need the rover that is very expensive to be deployed successfully. Please, Lord Shiva, if you could find it in your graces to help the rocket make it to the moon, we would be most appreciated. Right? So they prayed to Lord Shiva that their rover would make it to the moon. And guess what? It did. Land on the moon, they land on the moon. Land on the moon, they land on the moon. Land on the moon, we land on the moon. We take the rocket, we go to the moon. And then you know that we come back soon. We take the rover, we rover on the moon. And then you know that we come back soon. Land on the moon, then land on the moon. Land on the moon, we land on the moon. We take the rover, we rove up north. We take the rover, we rove down south. We take the rover, we rove in your mouth. And then we know that we have much clout and land on the moon, land on the moon. Totally just came up with some new lyrics to the song. They landed in your, down south in your mouth. I don't know. Whatever, it rhymed. It looks like I got a lot of laughing emojis, which lets me know that I did a good job. If you're posting laughing emojis, then you are accepting the comedy that I'm laying down in the manner in which it was intended. Sammy Telesco says, I'm sharing you everywhere. Let's go. That's right. Share me everywhere, even in your underwear. Some guy said, make it a ringtone. I'm going to sell it as a ringtone. $1 million a piece. Just need to sell one. Holden Smith asks if I'm all right. Trees have gotten destroyed in Roseville. I heard the wind outside blowing super duper hard. I could hear it all the way in my office. So it's like, I have an office in this building, and then, you know, there's a couple doors before I get outside. So I could hear the wind blowing out there earlier. So I could imagine that some trees went down. It's like the windiest day of the year for like the last year today. So, but I'm fine. Yeah, I'm here in my office, and there's no trees around my office, so I don't really got to worry. If a tree landed on my head and split my melon, you would be the first to know, bro. Sammy Telesco says the Doink song, please. All right. Well, I did it in Richie's voice earlier. I did Richie from Boston, Return of the Doink, but I'll do the original. Well, I tried to tell you so, but I guess you didn't know. They be messing with your goals, and there's magnets in the poles. You lied to me. All those field goals I thought were so real, you lied to me. Oh, yes, you did. Yes, you did. You lied to me. Oh, all those field goals I thought were so real, you lied to me. And now I cry, cry. Return of the Doink. It is Return of the Doink. Come on, Return of the Doink. Another ball hits the pole. Return of the Doink. Once again, Return of the Doink. Return of the Doink. And another ball hits the pole. Don't you know? All right. There you go. That's right. Return of the Doink, a cappella. Off the cuff, off the cusp, the cuffaspa. No auto tune. Thank you very much.
Primetime X style grind all day time and the night. Primetime on the grind all the day time. You don't know how I grind. I've been grinding so much at primetime and night. I'm like a pimp on a blimp eating a dick on a shrimp. I'm a tick dick plate to dip shrimp pimp. I stand on the grind 99. You don't know how I grind. I'm grinding all the time. Ah!
There you go. Oh, you're really going to push me, huh? Alex Stein versus Elmo versus Chris Rock, huh?
White people are crazy. I saw this Alex Stein. He was wearing a woman's bathing suit, walking around Target with a woman's bathing suit up his ass. Little children staring at his little white dong, wondering what the hell going on. He was like, white people crazy. How come every time a black man trying to go to Target, he gotta see a white man wearing a damn rainbow woman's bathing suit up his ass?
Elmo went to Target and Elmo saw Alex Stein had a woman's bathing suit up his butt. It was gross. Elmo has no desire to see a woman's bathing suit up Alex Stein's butt. Alex Stein is a flamer. He's a total flamer. I stop pretending on a grind all daytime. Y'all just jealous of how much I grind. I'm grinding on the daytime, on the day, night, on the night with the time with the pimp on the blimp eating shrimp.
There you go. All three of those motherfuckers. That is funny that Elmo called Alex Stein a flamer. I think that was the highlight of the whole stream. I did not have that planned. It just happened, man. See, I already did Alex Jones earlier in the stream, and I did Richie from Boston earlier in the stream. I'd just be repeating shit. And I've done a video where I put them together in a parody video. So I've already done that. You guys want more Richie from Boston, huh?
We have a problem down at the Texas border. There's unmarked agencies, and they're parked. I drive right past them. They don't mess with me, although they do wave and they do know my name. It's almost like that bar Cheers where everyone knows your name. Whenever I go down to the Texas border, everyone's like, hey, there's Richie. But at any rate, I'm hearing from Alex Jones that a white supremacist attack is imminent. And not only are the white supremacists going to be attacking the border, I've heard rumors that they have their own form of white supremacist drones. These are nano-sized drones, all right? They're very racist. They're looking to fly up your asshole and implant racist nano AIDS inside of the lining of your asshole. It's very evil. You're going to want to protect your ass by putting a Bible in between your legs and duct taping it there, at least for the next 6.5 months. All right.
There you go. It's been said that my Richie from Boston is better than the actual Richie from Boston, and I would agree. And I wonder if it's been brought to his attention, my impression. I believe it has. But he won't admit that Jake the Asshole does the best impression of him. So the fact that he won't admit that I exist and do this impression, even though he knows I exist and I do this impression, just shows you he's controlled too.
If we were to experience another lockdown, I already have plans to move in with my boy AJ, and we are going to feast on his neighbor's ass jerky. That's right, Richie. I'm going to move Richie into my spare room. I got a guest room, and I'm going to let Richie from Boston stay there. The next time the globalists lock us down, me and Richie are going to have a slumber party until the whole thing's over. We're going to feast on my neighbor's rump roast. We're going to be playing board games.
Yes, I know. My Alex Jones and my Richie from Boston cannot be touched. I was trying to go on Alex Jones' show, but he ain't trying to fuck with me. And I was like, what? He was like, hell no. So I was like, fuck you. Richie from Boston, he ain't trying to be fucking with me. So I ain't trying to be fucking with him. They was like, hell no. Oprah, man, I got blackballed from Oprah for telling the truth too much. She ain't even trying to have me on no more. Man, I got blackballed. They wouldn't let me on The View. I was trying to go on The View, and they was like, fuck you. So I was like, hell no. I didn't even have to use my AK. Gotta say it was a good day.
Let me tell you something. I was trying to go on The View, but they wouldn't let me on because I tell too much truth. I was gonna try and step into a Slim Jim, oh yeah, but they wouldn't let me come on their show. Let me tell you something, brother, and all my little Hulkamaniacs. I was trying to take my 1,000,000-inch pythons onto the Oprah show, brother, but she wasn't trying to have it. She said I wasn't good enough, brother. She said I'm not good enough to be her brother, so therefore she's not my sister, brother. Let me tell you something, brother. If you want to brother your vitamins, you need to take your vitamins. You need to say your prayers, brother. I'll never go on the Oprah show.
Yeah, I don't have a Fauci impression. It's not one I ever did. But yes, he'll probably be back for the next pandemic. He'll be, an expert on it. They always have to have their experts on their fake illnesses. A fake illness expert.
Well, let me tell you something. Mean Gene. Right after I picked Andre up and I slammed him down. Unfortunately, brother, he passed away just a few weeks later. He never recovered from the body slam.
Actually, Hulk, Andre died many years after you guys wrestled at WrestleMania 3.
Nah, brother. He died because I body slammed him. Let me tell you something, brother.
I'm almost turning into Richie from Boston and Hulk at the same time. It's like Alex Jones, Richie from Boston, and Hulk all together. Hulk's told some of the best lies that are just like instantly provably wrong.
Well, brother, Elvis was a big Hulkamaniac fan.
It's like, he said Elvis was a big Hulk fan. And it's like, dude, Elvis died before you were popular. So, no, he wasn't. There's no video of Elvis saying he loves Hulk Hogan, actually. But Hulk said that Elvis was a big fan. All you trolls out there doing your wrong math, saying how much I would have lost, nothing but trolls and fucking haters. All right? I never got to pick wrong, and I never will. No one has ever in the history of the world been more right than me. And if you disagree with that, you're just a hater and a fraud. You need to get in the bathtub and choose a razor blade. Haters and frauds. Anyone who's ever said anything bad about me, it's nothing but a fucking hater and a fraud. And they're just jealous. All right, there's a hater and a troll channel out there, and he's doing all this wrong math, saying how much you would have lost if you would have bet on my picks. It's nothing but a fucking hater and a fraud. You need to learn gematria. The Queen queefed on 67th Street. 67, of course, equals queef, and the Pope's birthday also coincides with my sister's birthday. So therefore, 67. So therefore, Chiefs will probably win. Did I miss a super chat? My bad. Let me go back. David Yount says, go back, check, and hit that like button. Hit that like button if you guys are having fun right now and watching my stream and enjoying yourself. We're almost going on 3 hours. We're going to be wrapping up soon. If you could hit the like button, that would be really awesome. It does help the video to get recommended more if you hit the like button. So it does do something, and it's easy enough. So if you are watching right now, just quickly hit it. It does help. Come on, let's get 500 thumbs up. I see 430. Let's get 500. Smash the thumbs up button. Tall One Garden says, I can't believe I missed this. Well, here's the good news. You can go back and rewatch, and what I recommend, watch it at 1.25 speed. It's better. I watch myself at 1.25 speed. and I can tell you I'm better, slightly faster, so you can get through my long streams even quicker. And I would also recommend, if you're going on a long road trip for a half hour or longer, that's when you should catch up on my streams. So if you missed my streams, catch up on the next road trip, throw me on, put it at like 1.25 speed, and you'll roll right through it. You'll get all the good juicy stuff. And it makes my impressions even funnier when they're a little extra fast. So that's what I recommend. I'm so slow that I recommend that you watch in fast motion. All right, y'all. So those of you waiting on a Super Bowl prediction, I've pretty much made up my mind, but I'm waiting to make my pick, just leaving y'all in the dark a little longer. But I think I'm going to have my pick out for you either tomorrow or the next day. For those of you who haven't looked, you might want to look at the money situation. A lot of people have made up their mind because of gematria or Taylor Swift or this or that. I looked at the money situation. Kind of forces me to have to make a pick. The money is forcing me to make up my mind. It's going to be pretty easy. So Usher is scheduled to perform at the halftime show. So remember the logo color conspiracy that didn't come true? Well, 2 years ago, Snoop Dogg wore blue and yellow, and then the Rams won. So at halftime, Snoop Dogg had on Rams colors. Rams won. And then last year, Rihanna had on red. Chiefs won. And both games were still close, and the Chiefs were losing. So it's not like they were winning, by 3 touchdowns at halftime, and then the performer came out with that color. So the halftime performer and what they wore has matched the Super Bowl winner 2 years in a row. However, that doesn't mean that if Usher comes out wearing a white shirt and gold chains, that the 49ers are definitely going to win because they're wearing white or gold. Or if he comes out wearing red, that doesn't definitely mean that the Chiefs are going to win. So I would throw all the color-coded crap out the window at this point, because once the logo didn't come through, then you might also want to figure that they could have Usher come out at halftime wearing red, and then let's say the Chiefs don't win. So that will snap the color-coded halftime performer conspiracy if that happens. So be on the lookout for what Usher's wearing, but also know that that doesn't guarantee who's going to win. So just because the color of the halftime performers matched 2 years, just like the logo matched 2 years, doesn't mean they do it again on the 3rd year. Yeah, I have no idea what they'll eventually do with Taylor, whether she'll be around next year or whether the thing with her and Kelsey will end, if their business relationship will be over after the Super Bowl or shortly after. We shall find out. Thomas says Oprah versus Roman for the title. Winner gets Lahaina. Imagine the Trumpers being happy when if Trump comes back as president, and then in 4 years, then The Rock and Oprah become president and vice president. So it's like, all you're going to get if you're a Trumper is pretend happiness for 4 years, and then a Democrat's going to take over for sure. So in the future, you might get President Rock and Vice President Oprah. You heard it here. That is a popular opinion of people here on my channel, and I can't say that you're wrong. But if I do read that out loud, there's a chance that the channel could get, hit with a strike or something. So I won't read that out loud. But I'll leave it on the screen for a few more seconds. Yes, Rocky. The Rock, I believe, is being groomed to be the future Democrat president. He'll get a bunch of Hollywood movie watchers to jump on board with his pro wrestling style promos. Finally, The Rock has come back to Washington, D.C. And The Rock is gonna clean house if you smell what President Rock is cooking. Boom, 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 boom. President Rock says, know your damn role and shut your damn mouth. Okay, I've been on here for 3 hours, and that's usually my cutoff point is the 3-hour mark. I start getting hungry and tired, and I start wanting to go smoke a bowl. So I'm going to go do all those things. I'm going to go smoke a bowl and eat and chill out, and I will catch you guys next time. Football's ending after the Super Bowl, so I'm going to be talking about other stuff until next September. No, I'm not going to cover the NBA every day and every week. I might do a video or two, but I'm not going to just start doing NBA shit. So basically, sports shit is coming to an end, and I'm going to be doing mostly stuff like I did tonight until next September. So for those of you who are sick of the football shit, well, you got 1 more week left, 1 more game left, and that's all done until next September. So until then, I'll catch you guys next time. I'll put out my Super Bowl pick tomorrow or the next day, and then I'll try to do another stream if anything happens at the border, if anything pops off, if the white supremacists pull off an attack, I'll be sure to cover it. So until then, y'all, take care of yourselves. Have a good night, and I'll catch you later. Thanks for all the donations. Thanks for everybody who participated in chat tonight. I'll go back and watch the replay and read every single message. And so thanks again. Take care. Good night.